Hey, it's Johnny. How you doing? This is post 123. Just want to show you. This is book one of 3 books that deals with basically criminal acts of Judge Adams. There's 3 books. It's quite complicated. This is the 4th book. These are exhibits in a trial that deal with a subject that everyone should be able to relate to. This is in debateattorney.com website. This is the Connecticut General Statute. Folks, I have it on the screen. Damage to a landlord's property in the 2nd degree. A misdemeanor. Okay, fine. The problem is, if you read these police reports, squatters are called tenants in Connecticut. Squatters are people who break and enter into a property to live there for free. And this squatter was evicted 9 times as a John Doe. 9 times as a John Doe. So when I found him living in my office of a brokerage firm where cashed stolen checks became the norm, let me show you cash stolen checks. Here we go. Cash stolen checks by the 100. You need to wonder, if I was the 6th person that evicted the same John Doe, and the judges know, Judge Provader knows, Judge Heller, Judge Jacobs, Judge Adams, and 25 other judges know that this cop killer, he was hired to kill 2 cops. They know. They refer to him as merely a snitch. Okay. Read Connecticut General Statutes about check fraud, wire fraud, extortion, money laundering. These are all claims in multiple lawsuits in Connecticut where the defendant, Malloy, appointed the judges that heard the trials, and the 911 calls were never played in the courtroom, and the Stanford Advocate was there. Hello. The Stanford Advocate attended the trials I'm talking about. Was it covered up? It most certainly was, because if you read the police reports saying these people were squatters, let me read you a sentence. On above time and date, this officer and Officer Diaz were dispatched to 20 Co Avenue, my property, East Haven, for a stabbing. Upon arrival, standing out front of 20 Co Avenue, my property, were several people, including the victim, Nico blankety blank, was holding his left hand, stating he was stabbed. Fire and rescue were en route. Nico stated that Albert Stober stabbed him. Nico described what he was wearing, a white tank top and striped shorts. The area was checked by officers for some time. Excuse me. The drug dealer in my garage, who broke and entered, stabbed a squatter who broke and entered, and the police reports refer to them as my tenants. Now, it wouldn't be ridiculous except that these John Does, I don't have a lease with. I don't know their names. I was not allowed these police reports. Every police report I ever obtained was redacted, so the names were removed. I have a hard time reading Connecticut General Statutes. Let's bring more up on the screen. These are your rights. Rights and responsibilities of landlords and tenants in Connecticut. This is a 13-page document that the General Assembly knows about. Why? I filed claims with the Claims Commissioner saying these were state-created liabilities. Do you know that 99% of the lawsuits filed against the General Assembly Claims Commissioner are dismissed? 99%. And they're capped at $5,000. Wonderful. So what I'm saying is practically each and every person on the General Assembly has dismissed cases I filed within my right to have the General Assembly look at claims denied by the state's Claims Commissioner, denied by the appeals court, denied by the state's attorney, and local police. Now, the problem with this case is the squatters are maintaining, they're working for the police union. Are you listening? Yeah. Want to see more? Oh, how do you like it? Right, Alan? More. Look at this case. Scandal brings sudden fall for Connecticut police chief. This is Gallo. Friends with Rilling. Friends with Larrabee. Actually, Gallo hired Larrabee. Larrabee works for Gallo. Hello. Larrabee worked for Malloy. Malloy and Larrabee, Governor Malloy, hired and made Provader a judge. Provader heard the trial, denied the 911 calls. Larrabee denied the subpoenas. How does it get back to Norwalk? Norwalk has claimed for 20 years to be investigating. I have their file. It's 900 pages long. Where's the other 5,000 pages that Brian McCann destroyed? People, these are criminal acts of a criminal conspiracy of organized crime. Read the book, Rogue Town. I point out the city of Stamford, who's also involved in the investigation. Read this book, people. One of the pages states that the reporter who got an award for writing this book says that the city of Stamford hired corrupt mob people to run various departments in Stamford, including the police department, which is exactly what Norwalk did. This is the playbook for crime in Connecticut. Who Comey was the FBI top guy. Manafort. The list goes on and on. Who's a criminal in Connecticut? Rowland got indicted. What I'm saying is we have the most corrupt state in the United States of America. Why? Because informants don't follow. The informants are hired. The same informant in this trial was hired to kill two cops named Dealey and Lamb. Yeah. Want the transcript? Here it is. It's in the red books. The red books are bad. The blue books, okay, they're just criminal acts of judges who don't do their homework. The red books, can I read you this? Oh, what's this? Oh, my Lord. These are my financial statements. There's a line item here. Forgiveness of debt, $100,297. by Judge Adams's law firm? I didn't forgive a debt to Judge Adams. Absolutely not. How did that get in my books and records of my securities firm? It's crime. It's ugly crime. And it's massive ugly crime. Let me read you this. It's a file. It's no big deal. Read the language. This is on the state's judicial website. This is a trial. Okay? Ready. A wireless transmitter was placed on Filippelli, concealed on his person to record the conversations with the defendant. No recordings were initially made because of a technical problem. They could record the conversation. This is transcript of a federal case where the squatter, I pointed out, who's been evicted 9 times as a John Doe. I was the 6th person. The 7th person who evicted that John Doe was a woman whose mother had dementia. This guy forced his way into her apartment and lived with her. Okay, this violent felon. The police did notify the daughter that the squatter was a violent felon, but she wasn't notified about this transcript. Here we go. He refused to come onto the telephone line to speak to the guys going to do the hit. The defendant instead drew a map on a paper towel with directions to Lamb's house. Lamb is a cop, an honest cop. A dirty cop was hired to kill a clean cop. He's the informant living in my brokerage firm's office. Excuse me? Now, think about it. If people have rights in Connecticut, and I'll put them on the screen, there it is, rights and responsibilities of landlords. I had a right to cross-examine this informant that Judge Adams, Provader, Jacobs, Heller is mishandling the Doulos case. They all work with Richard Colangelo, who I just sued over the Stephen Barrier case. Please follow the Stephen Barrier case. It's gigantic, okay? It's worse than Rodney King. Hey, you know what? I'm not a racist, okay? But what occurred is worse than that, okay? So what I'm talking about should be discussed openly everywhere in Connecticut to expose how the DNC is violating your rights through the court system, through the Judicial Review Council, through the General Assembly, who dismissed cases of this nature that I filed. Now, the problem with the General Assembly is they might be nice people. There's people I actually like a lot. But to dismiss cases you've never read that deal with murder because you are not doing your job is unconscionable. Every single General Assembly person should be held liable for what they've been up to. And I have a file that's 100 cases. Let me show you a case. Okay? I have 100 cases with disturbing stuff. What's this? I don't know. Let's look. City of Norwalk. Oh my. 2014. They're requesting in this gigantic document, paid for by taxpayers, that I revise my complaint where I accuse them of racketeering, which is exactly what they've done. Folks, I can't fix the state without a small check from every single person in the state. I'm asking for $5. You know how many people gave me the $5? It's pretty annoying. But I will fix it if I get the $5. And if I don't get the $5, I'm moving to Montana. Thank you very much. Today on Facebook, you'll notice in the best and worst of Norwalk, a guy I don't even know went to YouTube and watched video 120. This is 123. And he's like, who's John Flynn? Who's this guy from Norwalk who posted on YouTube criminal acts of, Brian McCann, Jeffrey Spar? These are the attorneys for Norwalk, folks. Brian Candela? Oh, no. Mario Coppola? Oh, my. Do you know what Ed Camacho's up to? He's suing over the opioid epidemic. Yeah. Did you see Travis Sims's latest piece, mailer, about the work he's done on the opioid epidemic? Excuse me. Travis Sims knows a lot about opioids. I grant him that. Okay? I grant him that. He knows a lot of people using opioids. But how are the attorneys at Ventura Law going to become multi-millionaires over the 130 people that die daily from OxyContin, who paid the DNC $116 million? Yeah, Blumenthal collected money from OxyContin. Himes collected money from Purdue Pharma. And Tom is benefiting from OxyContin. Oh, yes, he is. He certainly is. Because of the payments made through Halloran and Sage, the lobbyist for political campaign contributions in Connecticut. I think I've said enough in this post, but you have no rights in Connecticut as a landlord. It's a fact, because they're putting their informants as squatters in your properties, and they're cashing your stolen checks. What's interesting, folks, is that Judge Adams's firm is attorney for Bank America. Yes, he is. And 10 of their attorneys have claimed to be my attorney that I don't know, that I've never met. And my financial statements were falsified by an attorney at Kelly, Dry & Warren. Who is Annette Kelly? Who is Kelly Hodges? Annette Kelly laundered money at Bank America. Kelly Hodges falsified the audit. How do I know? Because I got 100 cases of crap. So, sorry to take your time. It's a deep dive. It's just scratching the surface, folks. We could go into this at length. There's thousands of exhibits. Thousands of exhibits. Let's turn the light on. Let's tell the General Assembly they shouldn't be rubber stamping dismissals of the claims commissioner because it's fraud. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for your time. I really do appreciate it. I do need $5 from every single person in Connecticut so I can fix it. Thanks, and I will. Are there other documents here I should show? That you saw? Oh, this is the transcript we were talking about. Judge Heller rights and Connecticut General Statutes. Oh, by the way, let me tell you a closing story. I have police reports where the East Haven police was sending to my own house to fix the pipes as they were being cut out by the tenants, by the squatters. They called them tenants. I called them squatters. It's interesting, a story. You got to hear this, and I have the reports to prove it. The police escorted me into my own brokerage firm's office where the sink was leaking. I lie down on my back and I bought a P-trap to replace under. So I back in under the sink into the cabinet. And the cop is, and I'm recording this, by the way, the cops are joking with the informant that they went to high school with that Filippelli punched a guy so many times that his eye fell out. Okay? I'm sitting under the sink with a wrench in case these guys want to beat me up. I fixed that sink. I told the judge the story. It's part of these transcripts, along with a lot of other information that, I mean, the average person wouldn't crawl on his back into a sink cabinet with two cops standing over him and an informant who's a professional fighter and laugh and joke about people that they collectively beat up. And to punch someone in the head repeatedly till his eye fell out, you don't want that to be you, folks. And I certainly don't want it to be me. It's not going to be me, okay? But when the sixth tenant, the same guy, got evicted as a John Doe, the housing court is in on it. I recorded everything. I can play it for the general public. If the general public wants to hear about it, I'll play it, okay? What you need to know is after he left my place through eviction as a John Doe, he went to a lady's house down the street. The mother lived in the house alone, and he broke in and lived with her, having dementia. The cops explained who the next victim would be. And what he did to that woman, I cannot forgive. And I won't. So if that's your mother, holy crap. Thanks. I'm at 22 minutes. I'm trying to keep these to like 5 minutes. It's impossible.